Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we will be taking a look at the Dayton Mall in Dayton, Ohio. Well, technically this mall is located in Miami Township, Ohio, but it's just outside of Dayton in Montgomery County. This is Dayton's other major mall, and although it appears to be doing well on the surface, as we continue to walk through, you will see that the occupancy is slowly going down. But it still appears to bring shoppers inside. It definitely sits in an interesting position, so join me as we take a walk through the Dayton Mall and let's see what it holds in store for us during my visit in March 2025. Our history begins in the late 1960s when Edward J. DeBartolo would announce plans for Dayton's second enclosed mall following the former Salem Mall in 1966. Construction would begin in 1969, and DeBartolo planned for this to be the largest enclosed mall between New York City and Chicago at the time. Originally opening its doors for the first time on February 12, 1970, Dayton Mall would greet shoppers with Sears, JCPenney, and Rike's as its original anchors, along with over 100 shops inside. It would also feature smaller department stores, Thals, Dunhills, Metropolitan, and Donenfields, I hope I pronounced that right, along with other notable tenants being the single-screen Dayton Mall Cinema, J.G. McRoy, Liberal Supermarket, Kinney Shoes, Hickory Farms of Ohio, Walden Books, Lane Bryant, Fredericks of Hollywood, and many more. From opening, Dayton Mall would see great success, and it would remain as the largest mall in Southwest Ohio until 1989. On August 4th, 1972, a second screen would be added to the cinema, which would open on the mezzanine level, which would be followed by two more screens opening on the opposite side of the corridor in 1976. Dayton Mall would continue to see changes throughout the 1980s. In 1980, the Liberal Supermarket space would be replaced by more mall shops as well as a Morrison's cafeteria. Following this in 1982, Rike's was merged with Shilatos and was rebranded to Shilato Rike's. Later that same year, 4 additional theater screens would be added to the mall, which only featured exterior entrances. In 1984, Dayton Mall received the first of 2 renovations. This renovation would see the east and west concourses receiving a facelift, completed with new flooring. Along with that, a food court would be added to the mezzanine level. And in 1986, Federated Department Stores would rebrand Shilato Rike's into Lazarus. In 1988, the Morrison's cafeteria would be rebranded to Sadie's Buffet and Grill, before the space would be fully replaced by Discovery Zone in 1993. Dayton Mall would continue to remain successful throughout the 1980s and 1990s, but more changes would continue to happen. As in 1993, the theater screens would begin to close one by one over time. But to soften the loss, Dayton Mall would receive its second renovation as well as an expansion in 1995. This expansion would see JCPenney relocate to a shiny new store on the north end of the mall, replacing the original main entrance. Their previous space would then become home to Cincinnati-based McAlpin's shortly after. However, this would be short-lived, as they would only last until 1998, before the space would then be replaced by Elder Beerman. And around the same time, the mall would see ownership turn over to Simon Property Group, as they acquired all the DeBartolo malls at this time. Entering into the new millennium, Dayton Mall would continue to remain successful, with Designer Shoe Warehouse opening in July 2000, but the mall would also see the movie theater fully shutter in 2001. However, that same year, Linens and Things would take over the old Discovery Zone space, and around the same time, a new public entrance as well as new restrooms were added to the mall. 2005 would then see Lazarus get converted to Macy's. However, new competition would arise when in August 2006, the Green Town Center opened just 10 miles away. In response, Dayton Mall added an open-air lifestyle component known as The Village at Dayton Mall. This small strip mall in the northwest corner of the parking lot added 25 new tenants to the property and opened in 2007. Dayton Mall would still see success going into the 2010s, but would continue to see many more changes. 2010 would see Linens and More for Less take over the old Linens and Things space. However, they would close in 2012, and the space would then be taken over by H.H. Gregg in 2013. 2012 would also see Dick's Sporting Goods open their Dayton Mall location, relocating from their nearby store in Miamisburg. On top of that, DSW would relocate into the old Borders space in the lifestyle component. However, 2014 would see Simon spin off several malls to Washington Prime Group, and the Dayton Mall was included in that list. As a result, ownership of the mall would be taken over by Washington Prime, whom also owned the mall at Fairfield Commons at the time. 2015 would see Sears Holdings spin off 235 of their stores to Seritage Growth Properties, and this would include the Dayton Mall Sears. Things would remain quiet until 2017, when in May, H.H. Gregg closed as they went out of business, and in October that year, it was announced that the former Sears Auto Center would be taken over by an Outback Steakhouse as well as a hook and reel Cajun seafood bar. However, this wouldn't be the only notable thing to happen that year. In December 2017, Dayton Mall would gain internet fame thanks to a prank by Dan the Meme Man, who I'd say made one of the greatest videos in YouTube history. He set up a prank where he'd be sledding down the escalator, while someone dressed up as a security guard threatened to call the police on him, and it led to a massive chase at the end. The video would end up bringing on some of the greatest catchphrases of Ohio, such as sled gang, as well as eat ass, smoke grass, and sled fast. Okay, I think my sarcasm might be overdoing it a bit, but it's honestly a funny video, and I'll be sure to leave a link to it in the description. I always get a good laugh from it. Anyways, back on topic, 2018 was a pretty devastating year for the Dayton Mall, as in April 2018, Elder Beerman's parent company, Bon-Ton, filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy and announced the closure of all of their stores, including the Dayton Mall Elder Beerman. The store would officially close for the last time in August 2018, and around the same time, Sears would announce the closure of their Dayton Mall location, along with 46 other stores nationwide, and their store would officially close for the last time in November 2018. This would leave just JCPenney and Macy's as the mall's only anchors. And the beginning of 2019 would see Old Navy close up shop in favor of relocating to the new Austin Landing development. However, things weren't all bad, as it was announced that their space would be taken over by The Room Place, with a projected opening of February 2020, and October 2019 would see Ross Dress for Less take over the old H.H. Gregg space. However, Room Place ended up shelving their plans to enter the Dayton market, and instead, the space would be taken over by local chain Morris Home Furniture. They were scheduled to open in the spring of 2020, but this would be delayed to the summer, as Dayton Mall would have to shut down for a couple months due to the COVID lockdown. Thankfully, the store did open in the summer of 2020, around the same time that the mall itself reopened. By this point, occupancy would slowly start to go down in the mall, and in December 2021, Spinoza Real Estate would take over Dayton Mall, after Washington Prime filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Things really wouldn't change much until August of 2022, when it was announced that a Crossroads megachurch would take over the former Sears space, although construction on that wouldn't begin until 2024. They would officially open on Easter Sunday of 2025, shortly after this footage was captured. However, on October 27th, 2025, Hall Property Group purchased the Dayton Mall, and as of the making of this video, they are the current owners of the Dayton Mall. Occupancy is still slowly going downhill, as many tenants, such as Forever 21, have left. The future of the Dayton Mall is definitely uncertain, and only time will tell what will happen to this mall.
While it can be easy to describe Dayton Mall as bland, I actually found it to be a very unique and interesting looking mall. The food court area was bright and colorful, with some hidden neon underneath the pillars. The unique features of this mall did not stop at the food court either. Dayton Mall is shockingly large and has an interesting layout compared to the other malls in the area, consisting of two very large wings attached to a central two-story portion of the mall. While Dayton Mall is definitely not performing as well as the mall at Fairfield Commons, and could even be considered a struggling mall to some, this mall was busy and crowded when we visited in the spring of 2025, and there was even an art gallery type of event going on when we were there. I do hope that Dayton Mall is able to survive and remain as one of the major shopping malls in the Dayton area.
Yeah, of course. Come on in.
Now, as we head down the elevator, I would like to say that I've always had mixed opinions about the Dayton Mall, but I don't hate it. Although some parts of it are definitely not the most interesting, there are parts that are really neat. The neon in the food court was quite a nice surprise, as I didn't even know it was there during my first visit here in 2021. And on top of that, I honestly really like the ceilings in the main concourses. Something about them just looks really cool and retro. Overall, even though it's not the most interesting mall in the world, it's definitely got a unique layout, and it's still a really nice mall, and it would definitely be better than anything Hall Property Group would do to renovate this mall. And honestly, I fear of that happening. I hope it doesn't happen, and I'm crossing my fingers they don't do it. And if you're watching this Hall, please do not throw down your ugly carpets and stupid drywall in this mall. It doesn't need it. It looks fine. We don't need you ruining it. Anyways, I've always thought that Dayton Mall sits in kind of a weird state. In a way, it's kind of in limbo, as Fairfield Commons is definitely Dayton's premier shopping mall, but the Dayton Mall definitely has more mom and pop shops that make it a great secondary mall. And they've definitely been doing a great job when it comes to filling in vacancies in the past, and I feel like they could still do it now. The mall sits in a great location, and I think it could still succeed. Management just has to do the right thing and figure it out. But honestly, that's really all I got time to talk about. But what are your thoughts on the Dayton Mall? Let me know down in the comments below. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all for watching my video tour of the Dayton Mall in Dayton, Ohio. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like, as it greatly helps support the channel. And whilst you're at it, be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more mall videos like this to be released to more viewers like you. I have a lot more content coming to the channel very soon, with a lot more stuff you're not going to want to miss. So be sure to subscribe for more malls to come your way. I also have an Instagram linked in the description with sneak peeks of future videos coming to the channel, and I will leave you all with a drone montage of the exterior of the mall to wrap things up. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay awesome, and have a blessed day. I will see you all in my next video.